Well, hello people. Don't touch that dial. Well, as you know, femons can do anything, and they can do it better than a man can do it. They are really Swiss Army knives. And if you believe that, I got some land on the moon if you want to buy it. Of course, the reality is that femons, being that they are femons, have limitations. And of course, men have limitations too. But they know it and accept it. Now, I can't remember when it was, but there was a femon who said she could lift the same amount of weights a man can lift. And I believe she broke both her wrists, if I remember correctly. There's one thing bullshitting like the femons do, but a lot of them actually believe their own bullshit, don't they? But what about femons and driving? Don't get me started on that. But a lot of them do have the space awareness problem, and I've already discussed that matter. Men have honed that skill in for thousands and thousands of years. But they want to be big truck drivers just like men. And to be frank with you, most of them look like men. I know the bus drivers around here all look about the same. Short cropped hair. Obviously, they are not a real femon, if you know what I mean. And the very odd time you might get one that actually looks like a femon, but they don't last in the job very long. And the reason is it's a novelty at first for them. Hey, look at me, I'm a bus driver. But when they find out and the novelty wears off, how much work is involved at being one, and that it is not as exciting as they thought it would be, and they're not getting as much attention as they thought they would get, they get bored with it. But here's a story of an HGV driver that's a femon. Now, she's not your typical femon truck driver. She actually kinda looks feminine. And she says once the men see her skills, they forget all about her being a femon. I wonder what skills she's talking about. But it doesn't matter to me in a way, because femons cannot hone that skill in that men have, and are as good at it as men are. Man, they might do okay, some of them, very rarely. But if you asked them to reverse onto a dime, the man would be the one that could do it. But just take a look at this femon. Is she dressed for this 8 or 10 hour stint she's gonna do truck driving? Or is she going on a goddamn date? And look at her build. The truck is massive. What could she lift, really? But she says she's been one for 5 years. One what? Oh, truck driver, yeah. But she won't be in it for very long, I'm sure. They never are. And as you can see by the way she's dressed, she's not just driving the truck, she's trying to make a statement. And of course she's in the paper saying, look at me, look at me. And how many truck drivers are males out there for the years they have been, and they've never been in the paper? Because they're just getting on with the job. And I've been on this planet for some time, I keep on telling you. I think I'm on some other planet most of the time. But any time I see a femon in a car that's reversing backwards or something, I get it hell out of that way. Because I know, and I've experienced it many times, femons doing crazy things while driving, or reversing, or parking. As a lot of us men have, haven't we? For some reason, most femons don't really take to driving as a sort of a natural ability. You only have to see them when they're driving. They're hanging onto the steering wheel, their knuckles are white, they're propped up looking over the steering wheel or looking through the screen, completely stiff, unrelaxed. I mean, it must be taking all of their brain power just to drive. Oh look, there's a sale at Penny's. And that's the end of that car. It all boils down to virtual signaling, doesn't it? The women continue to tell you that they're great at everything and how great they are at driving as well. But like I say, I've never listened to what comes out of a femon's mouth. I watch, I observe, and I don't believe that femons are great drivers at all. They may not be in a lot of accidents, but they sure as hell can cause them. Because if nothing else, they're erratic on the road. Most of them are nervous when driving. And I mean, good luck to this HGV driver. But when the novelty wears off and people just stop looking, she'll definitely go somewhere else, I'm sure. Oh, and here's another news item, I'll put the links down below. And it's really disgusting, so it must be a femon involved, of course. This 31-year-old mother sold her 6-year-old daughter for sex, so that she can go and buy a pair of sneakers. I mean, it would be terrible if the mother happened to be 17 or 18 years old, but the mother's 31 years old. As I said before, the children don't mean anything to them except a pawn. The Femon did get 23 years, but you can probably believe that she doesn't realize why is she getting 23 years. Because in her disgusting mind, there's nothing really wrong with it, what she did. They are moralless and self-centered, spoiled children themselves. Then here's the last story, and it's a size 6 Femon. I don't really know what that is, actually. I'm a man. I guess that means she's fairly small, I guess. Has been trolled. Of course, that's terrible being trolled, man. Because she has an obese husband. But she's got the last laugh. She says they earn $10,000 a month. I guess on videos or something, I don't know. So you see, the young generation, it doesn't matter how disgusting it is, as long as they're getting money for it. That makes you a materialistic person, and that is all. Maybe if you videoed yourself eating poop, you could get some money too. But I wouldn't do it. Would you? And anyway, all this money they keep on saying they're getting, I don't believe any of it. And I don't know, maybe I've just been brought up differently, but there's only certain things I'll do for money. Well, I guess I've just got principles, I suppose. Oh yeah, so you see the thumbnail I'm using there. I was quite a lot younger man there. That's in Canada, and I was camping in the forest, beside the river, and I made a little fire there. That was way out in the forest. I got there by an ATV only. Yeah, those were the days. And now I'm living in Cement City, with psychopaths everywhere. But at least I still have the memories of those times. Some people don't even have that, do they? Now you take it easy, fellas, and we'll talk again sometime. See ya.